Titi Babalola, and I'm an English graduate student at the University of Lethbridge. The title of my paper is Factors Hindering the Absorption of Digital Humanities in Developing Countries, a focus on Nigeria. Daniel O'Donnell's review of the participation in digital humanities across the globe suggests that the level of participation in digital humanities activities may be correlated with the economic situation of a country, such that countries with high income witness a high participation in digital activities, while countries with average or low income have partial or low participation. These findings are founded on Melissa Terra's map, which shows the distribution of digital humanities presence across the world. Now, here is the map, and we have 114 centers distributed across 24 countries in the world. We have 44 centers in the US, 11 in Canada, 14 in UK, and we have just one center in Africa. Here's the map of Africa, and then here is the center located in South Africa. Now, this hypothesis may be true considering the poor economic situation of most African countries. And this is also reflected in the World Internet Penetration Rates by Geographic Regions accounts in 2012. We have North America having 78.6% internet penetration, while Africa and Asia have 27.5, that's Asia, and 15.6, Africa. Now, despite its size and population, Africa, according to the Internet World Statistics, accounts for only 7% of the world's internet users. Nonetheless, some parts of the continent have developed a robust technological culture. Egypt and Nigeria, for instance, were ranked among the top 20 internet users in the world in 2012. Now, here's the ranking of the top internet users in the world. We have China topping the list, and at the 11th position here is Nigeria, and Egypt is at the 20th position. Now, the high level of internet usage can mostly be attributed to the use of mobile phones. Neil Gore writes that the number of subscribers in Nigeria, the world's fastest growing market, according to the International Telecommunications Union, increased by 143% between June 2002 and 2003. According to the survey of internet users in Nigeria, the highest users are tertiary institution students who fall between the ages of 18 and 27. It is therefore logical to expect that with such a high level of internet usage among Nigerians, especially among students, the level of digital humanities participation should be equally high. If there are many internet users, most of whom are digitally literate, what then could cause the low level of digital humanities participation in the country? What do the digital humanists do differently from the digital technologists or any other digital computer literate in Nigeria? And that brings us to the study of the digital culture in Nigeria, which is a reflection of the digital culture in most developing countries, especially in Africa. Nigeria, as a developing country, witnessed a rapid change in the last 2 decades after its federal government opened her doors to technological investors, both local and foreign. Prior to this time, the Nigerian Telecommunications PLC, NITEL, the state-owned communication agency, monopolized the communication sector, and during this time, few Nigerians had access to computers and the internet. But with the deregulation of NITEL in 1992, the information technology sector boomed. Investors like MTN, Glo, and Econet emerged to invest in modern telecommunication infrastructure. This also increased the level of technological awareness as many Nigerians gained access to a range of telecommunication and technological products and services, including mobile phones, smartphones, digital tablets, internet, and computers. They can now engage in various web-based activities for both academic and non-academic purposes. It has been discovered that many of these web-based activities, especially social networking, are performed via mobile platforms. Emil Protaliski reports that as at the end of June 2012, 56.86% of Of Facebook's total user base, access the service via mobile devices, and Nigeria tops the list by accounting for 80% of this group. And this is shown on this slide. We have South Africa with 80.5%, Namibia with 76.7%, and then we have Nigeria here with 86.2%, that's topping the list of these countries. Similar to its impact on social networking, technology has caused a revolutionary change in research methodology. A number of researchers have conducted analytical surveys on the impact of technology on education. In 2008, Lawal K.O. et al. Conducted a survey on the level of computer literacy and the use of the internet for research among the student and staff of computer science and engineering faculties in the Nigerian State University. The result reveals that 94% of the respondents are computer literate, and 84% of these computer literates acquired the skill through trainings in ICT centers. In 2010, Buki Omotayo did a similar survey by distributing 1,000 questionnaires among undergraduate students in 10 faculties at a federal university. 664 of these were usable. The findings show that 89.9% of the respondents are familiar with using the internet, 40.2% use the internet every day, 38.3% use it once a week, and 10% at least once a month. The result also reveals that 83.2% of those who use the internet use it for academic purposes. Alongside providing empirical results and insights on the level of internet usage among Nigerians, closer examination of these surveys reveal the problems users face in the country that obstruct the penetration and absorption of digital humanities in the country. Top on the list of these problems is poor network connectivity. From the sampled responses, many of the respondents expressed dissatisfaction with the internet service providers. Internet users constantly experience slow, poor, and no connectivity. Also, most of the university campuses do not have Wi-Fi connection access, and only very few universities in the country have functional Wi-Fi spots that are used and that are open to the academic public. Invariably, a large portion of the internet users access the internet at public domains by purchasing airtime vouchers, which are used at cyber cafes or through their mobile phones and laptops. These vouchers, despite being split into various affordable amounts, are expensive when the level of poverty that pervades the country is considered. Perhaps a more fundamental challenge to the country's absorption of digital humanities is power failure. There is insufficient power generation in the country. The demand for power is way below its supply. Students are affected by this inadequacy because they often have trouble charging their laptops and mobile phones. The average Nigerian uses power generating sets as a supplementary power supply. Since the electric supply from the state-owned power holding company is unreliable, and the country is often thrown into days of sporadic or complete power outage. Now, the third factor is poor integration of digital tools into the educational system. Although many Nigerians have acquired skills that are useful in digital humanities, and the internet and computer are usually and widely used for research purposes across the country, the integration of digital tools into the educational system is very low. Nigerian researchers still rely on the conventional method of inquiry because most of the technological tools that are required to reshape the traditional method of teaching are not readily available. For instance, classrooms in most universities, except for some private-owned universities, have no digital projectors. Therefore, the sage and state method of teaching becomes the only feasible approach in this situation. Aside from the economic and technical challenges discussed earlier, Digital resources are not universally created to meet the demands of scholars across the world. In a place like Nigeria, where internet access is limited and expensive, it is difficult to access large sizes of downloadable apps and documents, and scholars are often faced with the challenge of fragmented nature of digital files on the web. Another obstacle to the development of digital humanities in Nigeria is the attitude towards crowdsourcing and data curation. Nigerians are generally non-responsive to online surveys that are not financially beneficial, perhaps because they spend so much per minute spent online. The stipend usually attached to outsourcing tasks is not a good enough incentive when compared to the cost incurred on internet usage. Unless they can be attached to grades or some other forms of incentives, the future of crowdsourcing in the humanities field is bleak. And as a country with an abundance of cultural, history, and heritage, most of which are fast dying out because of the mode of transition, which is orally based, the adoption of digital humanities methodology in the academic field will be an opportunity to salvage and preserve what is left of the Nigerian traditional cultural heritage. Now, despite all these impeding factors, the level of digital literacy in Nigeria continues to increase. However, there has hardly been any perceived presence of digital humanities activities in the country. This reiterates the debate within the global digital humanities community about where to draw the lines between digital literacy and digital humanities. Scholars like Cathy Davidson have attempted to provide an encapsulating definition that accommodates both concepts. In our classes, This Is Your Brain on the Internet and 21st century literacy, sorry about that, Davidson asked our students to come up with a list of social media skills acquired and mastered in their peer-led class. They came up with a list of 16 skills that she says define digital literacies. 4 of these definitions state: using online sources to network, publicize content, collaborate, and innovate; demonstrating technical and media skills; learning how to champion the importance of the open web and net neutrality; incorporating technology efficiently and wisely into a specific classroom and work environment. While these answers attempt to provide boundaries for the term digital literacy and subsequently the activities expected of the digital humanists, they are tailored towards defining digital literacy as the acquisition of technical skills to enhance knowledge within the academic arena. However, digital literacy is not exclusive to the advancement of scholarly works. There are several kinds of digital skills that have no relevance to research. For instance, a professional photographer who uses Photoshop to enhance the quality of his pictures does so not as a scholar, but because it is a necessary skill that affects his livelihood. There is no doubt that digital literacy is a necessary prerequisite in the digital humanities because it enables the digital humanists to function effectively. But it will be misleading to assume that every digital literate is a digital humanist. Bar Ibra suggests that the relationship between institutional domains such as classrooms and digital literacy is complex. He examines how digital tools are used by students both in our personal and academic activities. He discovers that for these students and our classmates, Facebook was the preferred tool for academic work rather than the Moodle site provided by the school. Even though the skill required for the use of both Facebook and the academic site is the same, the use of social network platforms for academic purposes does not make the student a digital humanist. Although she has extended her digital skills to academics, she has done so using inappropriate tools. She gets the work done even though she neglects the important necessary tool designed for the work. The core function of the digital humanist goes beyond bridging the gap between traditional research in the humanities and technology. It requires a proper matching between pedagogy and technological tools. It takes a step beyond digital literacy by teaching students to critically evaluate a range of technological tools and methodologies and create digital humanities research inquiries that can be enhanced using these approaches. In Nigeria, there are digital literates who use their skills for academic research in the humanities, but these do not regard themselves as digital humanists because there's virtually no awareness about digital humanities as an academic field or its functions. Therefore, a case may actually be made that the problem is not the total absence of digital humanities in Nigeria, but rather the absence of its visibility within the country. When compared to the wave of digital humanities activities sweeping across the world, little has been done on digital scholarship that focuses on the history and culture of Nigeria. Most Nigerian literatures have not been upgraded to critical or digital editions. In the area of encoding literary text, in order to make textual analysis easier and more accessible, Nigeria still has a long way to go. Literature students are only familiar with close readings as they are not aware of new digital tools like Variant or WordSeer, which can be used for digital textual analysis. As a result of the inactive digital activities in the humanities, planning and developing new digital tools that will meet the necessities of the Nigerian humanities community is impeded. Such tools, when designed, can be used for algorithmic textual analysis on texts that have a distinct linguistic code, like Amos Tutola's The Palm Record and Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, while statistical tools can also be designed to provide a taxonomy of grammatical patterns in Achebe's works. Such tools simplify the text and reveal evidences for new sets of meaning and theme by qualitatively and quantitatively confirming or testing claims by past critics. In essence, while there is a considerable amount of digital activities in the country, some of which are carried out in ways that can be termed digital humanities, the phrase digital humanities itself is not popular within the country. Although a number of Nigerians, mostly abroad, have contributed and actively participated in the development of projects pertaining to Africa, and also a few have joined digital humanities groups on LinkedIn and other social networks, they, Nigerian residents in the country, are not familiar with the pedagogical functions and roles of digital humanities. Even though the development of infrastructure and technology skills are necessary for the growth of digital humanities as an academic field are underway, the country still has a long way to go in order to meet up with the current digital trend in the world. There's a great need for a rapid change in digital culture and a total overhauling of the educational and economic sectors before digital humanities can fully emerge and function as a revolutionary approach to humanistic research in Nigeria. Thank you.